All right, welcome STMA cabinet makers. On that last video regarding the door assembly, I made the door too big and I've realized my mistake. So when I determined the door size, I determined this width, right? And it was 9 1/8, but I have a 1/2 inch overlap here and a 1/2 inch overlap here. And so that means it should be 10 1/8. My door size should be 10 1/8. But I made this piece 10 1/8. I didn't account for this section of wood that would be added onto it right here, and this part as well. So let's do a little bit of math. These pieces right here are 1 3/4, and this tongue is 3/8 of an inch. So what is 1 3/4 minus 3/8? Well, I'll give you extra credit if you say 1 3/8. And that's exactly what we got right here, 1 3/8. Now, what's 1 3/8? Because we have to account for this piece right here and this piece, which is also 1 3/8. So what's 1 3/8 times 2? Well, it's going to be 2 3/4. All right, so that means I've got to take away 2 3/4 off of this piece right here. So I'm going to get out of this measuring tool here. And remember, 2 3/4, we're going to go to the door and to the door rail. And we have to change the length of this by subtracting 2 3/4. All right, well, we have 10 1/8. Oh boy, who can do the math there? Well, if we go 10 1/8 and we take away just the 3/4 of an inch, that's going to bring us down to 9 3/8. And then we have to take away 2 more inches. So I'm going to say 7 3/8. There we go. And of course, you should always check your math before you make a video. And let's take a look at that door and see what things look like now. The panel has gotten too big. Let's go, well, it hasn't gotten any smaller. Let's go here, and that's looking pretty good. Not exactly sure what's happening on my door frame right there, but let's put this right there. And there we go. Okay, yeah, that's about the right size. Now I just got to fix my panel. So let's go back to the door. And I didn't call it a panel here, but let's go to sketch 1. And same thing, 10 1/4 minus all the other stuff was 7 3/8. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, everything should be good there. Let's go and check the final assembly. And there it is. The door is now looking good. Yeah, interesting. I'll pull that out and see what's going on with this door frame here. It's kind of crazy looking. It's off just a little bit. Well, that's a problem I'm going to solve off of the video here. I'm not going to waste your time on the problem that I've made. But the last thing we got to do is put this door onto the cabinet. And there's another problem here I haven't quite figured out, but we're going to use the revolute mate just because it's kind of fun. So what the revolute mate does is we come along here and we're just going to choose that line right there. And then we're going to go back and choose just the edge right there. And that puts it onto there. That puts it right onto there. And the Z goes up and down. The blue Z goes up and down. And that's important to notice because we have to have the blue Z right here. I was having trouble with that in the last video. We are going to offset that 4 3/8 is the magic number. And of course, I went the wrong way. So it's going to be -4 3/8. And that looks better. That's got about a 1/2 inch overlay there and a 1/2 inch overlay there. And you might be thinking, what about the rest of the door? Well, just hit solve and it'll move. Okay, here's the problem that I have, and I don't know how to solve it. Extra credit to anybody that knows how to solve it. When I use that type of fasten mate system, I can only line it up right here on this line. I don't know how to get it over a 1/2 inch. All right, so it looks a little goofy with the door off center. It won't be off center in real life. But the reason I use that is because I can now open my door. All right, so that's that right there, folks. All right, that's fixing my door size problem and attaching it to the face frame.